Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Vulnerability Time podcast. I am your host, published author, and PhD candidate, Josias Abriel. Before we get started, folks, just a couple quick announcements. One, the show is now accepting donations. We need to get a new laptop to continue the show. So I have a Cash App in the episode description below. You just click on the link tree and you can donate. Anything helps. There's this used laptop that I was looking at, and it's about $600 something. So that I will be needing to get that to. I found like the best and cheapest used laptop to be able to record the show, because the current laptop, she's dying on us, folks, and the software and the updates, it's starting to do its thing again. So if you would like to donate to help the show out, please do so. Anything helps. Also, if you are listening on YouTube, give this a like. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please give this a 5-star rating. It will help the algorithm. I do need 10 more 5 stars to continue the show. So if you could please do that, I would truly appreciate it. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy the episode. Alrighty, everyone. So with us today, we have a new special guest. Welcome, Holly, to the show. Hi, Holly.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fabulous. Welcome to the Vulnerability Time podcast. Folks, Holly was on the other side NDE. Y'all remember me talking about that 2 years ago, saying I would love to be on that show. It's my dream. And now I'm on that show. And guess what? I've seen Holly's video. So when me and Holly met for like a little pre-meeting to go over what, we were going to discuss for the podcast, I was like, she looks so familiar. And so I went on the other side NDE's YouTube, and it showed that I had watched her video, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, yeah, that's right. That makes sense. Yeah, that's where I saw you." But okay, so Holly, before we get into our topic, um, tell us a little bit about you. Any work you got coming out? Any credentials? Anything you want to share? Tell us a little bit about you before we get into our topic.
Yeah. Well, I was raised as an entrepreneur by entrepreneurs, and that's kind of the world I've known since I was younger. So I've had 12 startup companies. We've raised 8 adult children, and we survived that. And now we have 19 grandkids. So big families. I'm from a family of 9 as well. Um, I have 17 books, but my latest book was really the one I'm the most proud of because it's about this story and some personal development around that called Near Death Shift.
Mhm.
So excited about that. And we can talk about later too. I had a spiritual experience while I was writing that, where
Yes.
this new company that I'm doing now came out of. So
Mm.
just following the lead.
I love that. Okay, well, one, if you want to check out Holly's work, it will be in the episode description below. I want to say that. And what I really am excited for and loved when Holly wanted to talk about it is I'm sure you can tell by the title, folks, but coming back from the NDE slash the shift. So, folks, NDE just is short for near death experience. For those who didn't know, yes, it just means a near death experience. And so I'm excited to hear about what Holly has to say, because I don't hear about the after
Yeah.
a lot, right? And for me, it was amazing. And there were some moments where I'm just like,
Yeah.
there's this home longing that I have. There's, oh gosh, do I want to stay here? Like, it was just so beautiful over there, like there's definitely been those moments. And so I'm not saying Holly's gonna say those exact words. I don't know Holly's experience yet. I'm in the dark with it, folks. I'm gonna have to learn as soon as y'all are gonna learn. But the point of the matter is hearing the after. I love hearing that. And there's something significant about the word shift in Holly's story. So we're just gonna let Holly take it away. So Holly, the topic, the title and the topic is coming back from the near-death experience slash the shift.
Hmm.
Why this topic? What does that mean? Take us through this journey.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see. There's a story. Isn't that a show? Um, okay, so the story behind it was the shift really was like the learning lessons that I learned coming out of it, which, we have to learn them before we can actually go through them, experience them, and then learn them, right? And then look back later. And usually that's the learning is later we look back and go, oh, that's why that happened, or oh, that's why this experience. So the whole shift for me came kind of at the ending of it, which was just really last year. I was living it, not knowing it, not realizing it, and putting all the puzzles together.
Mhm.
So most NDE years say it takes like 10 years to unravel everything you get when you have a near-death experience. And I would agree with that. I'm not even in 5. And
Mhm.
what I do love is I was given some counsel and told later, which was almost like another near-death experience and a spiritual experience. More would be revealed to me when the time was right. And
Mhm.
I love that because normally I want to know everything right now. And I'm just like, no, I got to have the answers. But when you have a near death experience, it can be really overwhelming,
Mhm.
especially if it's a long one and there's a lot of details to it. So the fact that I didn't know everything was okay for me because it was a lot of information. There was a lot of puzzles, pieces to that puzzle, so to speak. And there's still a lot of pieces missing. But the fact that I know I was told that, like, that there's more coming excites
Yeah.
me. Like I'm like, okay, what's next? I think
Yeah.
I processed this. What's next? So I had, and I have had other people say they've experienced a lot of the similar things that I did too. But coming back, you think your life would just be grandiose and
Mhm.
everything's, everybody, oh my gosh, I almost lost you. Well, I need you closer to me and I need you in my
Mhm.
life. And it took about the 4th month that I got out of the hospital, everything just went. I was already a mess. Everything was still upside down because that health-wise, I was in the hospital from COVID, and I
Mhm.
was there for 70 days. So I ended up with long COVID, and I was a mess. I had all kinds of health issues. I was perfectly healthy going in, walked out on 12 drugs,
Mhm.
and slowly got off of those because I'm just a holistic person, like to heal naturally. I feel like our bodies are made to heal.
Mhm.
That, but yeah, I had all these issues going on. And so just trying to mentally deal with that. Now I have PTSD, I had anxiety. Well, then I went into this huge depression for almost 2 years. I call it my 2 years of hell. So this is about month 3 to 4 out of the hospital. And it was like the worst days of my life. The way I would explain it to somebody that feels okay to me is well, it didn't feel okay to me. Is like every bad day you've ever had
Mhm.
times by 100, and that's how like heavy everything felt every day. I prayed I would have died every day. That
Mhm.
why did I live through to go through this? Like this
Right.
isn't living.
Mhm.
Um, and it was just some really dark times. Knowing now what I know, it's like I had to experience that for my work in the future, for the philanthropy work I'm doing in the future. I
Mhm.
had to see this ick that was going on
Yeah.
so that I could do the good that I needed to do later.
Right.
And but when you're in the moment, we all have those times where when we're in it, we're just like overwhelmed. You're in that survival mode and you just
Mhm.
like plug, just going, okay. I mean, my motto, even then, because I was so focused on health, because I had never lost my health before.
Mhm.
So my motto was better is better. What can I do today to be better than I was yesterday? And I still, to this day, even though my health is much better, I still have long COVID. I still get some relapses.
Mhm.
And I still think we can apply that. What can I do today to be better than I was yesterday? If we all just applied that, it makes better days ahead. It makes
Mhm.
something to look forward to. It makes a positive outlook instead of a negative outlook, and it's uplifting instead of draining.
Mhm.
So yeah, for me, that was kind of the experience that led up to the shift. Yeah,
Mhm.
realizing all of these things. Um, for me, shift came about from another spiritual experience. I feel like I call them God gifts. God's my higher power, whatever that is for anyone else I respect. But for me, that's who it is. So when I say that, that's who it is. I think you get those God gifts along the road in your life to guide you and protect you, for that matter. My book sat for about a year and a half. I had somebody helping me with it because the long COVID fog is no joke. Like, it's a real thing. And I felt like things were distorted. I knew the experience I had had, but there were gaps missing to the story of my actual near death, because I had a lot of out of body experiences and a spiritual transformative experience during that time as well. So I was like, wanted to be integrity for the book. The person that was helping me, her husband had some health issues, basically sat for a year and a half. And then I finally, last year, was like, no, I'm going to get it done this year. And then I really inspired to have it done and launched on November 11th. That was the day when I got out of the hospital. That's 1111. That was very significant to my story. I just knew that was it. And so I started focusing on the book to make sure it got done by that date. And then the title I had, the working title I had the whole time, I was pretty attached to. Like, I liked it. It felt right until it didn't. And then I get another God gift, and I get a new name, which was Near Death Shift. What life taught me about, no, what dying taught me about life, business, and purpose. Sorry. And so that was really what came out of it all for me, was purpose. And that had to be in there. So then I had to struggle with, I don't want this memoir of just my story. It's not about me. It's about an experience that I want others to hear, learn, and grow and prosper from. So I thought, how can I make this book not a memoir? And I didn't have a spiritual book written. And so that was what I decided. And then I am super into personal development. That probably saved my life, having all of those experiences to survive. And so it's a spiritual personal development book. And so the first half is my story. The second half is all of the shift in 8 different categories that are in the book, which is a whole nother story. So anyway, that's how the shift came about. The shift stands for surrender, hope, intuition, faith, and transformation. And when you think about surrender and transformation being the 2 letters that are the bookends, you can't have one without the other. And I always get asked, like, which one of those do you think is most important? I say surrender because it is first. And I feel like until you surrender, you're really not ready for what's next. You ask any successful person, and if they're telling you the truth, they didn't do it alone. Nobody does it alone. We all have somebody, a leg up, a lift up, whatever that looks like. Nobody did it alone. And so at some point, we do have to surrender that to get the help, right?
Holly, 2 things. One, so those 2 years that you said were like really bad depression years. Would you consider that? Have you ever heard Dark Night of the Soul? Would
Yeah.
that be considered that? Is that something you've ever considered? I'm not sure. I don't know.
I
I'm
don't
just
know that well. I mean, I know that phrase and stuff, but for me, yeah,
okay.
I'd never suffered feeling like I had bad days, and I had been depressed.
Right.
Never clinic. I would call that what I was going through, like, clinically depressed. I mean,
Right.
the
Right.
fact that I didn't want to live. Like, why
Right.
am I here? I probably would have never at that point in my life considered suicide.
Mhm.
I'd been through like those thoughts in another lifetime.
Mhm.
I mean, this lifetime, but years before,
Right. Right.
what I'm saying. And so I wouldn't say, oh, I contemplated committing suicide. No, I just wanted to die. I was just
Right.
like angry that, why do I have to go through this? If I have a mission, why am I getting all these obstacles thrown in my way?
Exactly.
I want to focus on the mission.
Well, finally someone says it because that's exactly what I told the universe, higher powers, spirit guides, all that. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I told them. I was like, and so this was after your NDE, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
It started about 4 months after I got out of the hospital and
I would
last year.
imagine that, and maybe I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would imagine that those feelings were more intensified because you just got from experiencing home and experiencing, that freeing, that weightlessness of
Mm,
all burdens and pain. So at least for me, for a moment, and let me know if you relate to this, for a moments, because I had struggled with suicidal thoughts before my NDE,
mm,
but after, it was intense. They were
yeah.
definitely intense. M- there was a mix of contemplating, but then there was that mix of what you said of just I just wanted to die. Even on my like better days, I'm just like, you know. So,
I
is that
think for
something you can
me,
relate to?
I think there was part of me, the reason why I didn't think about like the suicidal stuff, like I wanted to die. So yeah, there was that, but
Hmm.
it was different. It was different thoughts for me because it wasn't like, and maybe it was part of, oh, well, if I commit suicide, I may not end up where I was.
Hmm.
What if I don't end up where I was? I wanted to go where I was,
Hmm.
but to take myself out, I may not end up there. There was probably a little bit of that thinking.
Hmm.
So like I didn't have those thoughts like, oh, how I'm gonna do it, or it wasn't that. It
Hmm.
was just that desire of home. You're in
Yeah.
this great
Yeah.
place. I didn't get the choice in my near-death experience to come
Damn.
back or stay. I
Yeah.
probably would have stayed. I
Yeah.
think a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
people stay, and that's why we don't see them again.
Say that last part again. Sorry.
I said I think a lot of people choose to stay, and
Yeah.
that's why we don't see them again.
Exactly. When I see, like, when I hear someone's like on, in a coma or on their deathbed and then they don't come back, I'm wondering, I'm wondering if during that time they were getting that choice and they were seeing, life, because folks that do get a choice,
Yeah,
they get to see how life would look like with them and without them. And
yeah,
if they choose to stay, that's because like they see, okay, yeah, that folks, they'll get along fine. Of course, they'll grieve for a little, but they'll get along fine. Yeah, I didn't get that choice. Holly is right. I definitely would have chose to stay as well. Which I mean, the amazingness on the other side, especially because mine happened because of a suicide attempt.
mm,
Well, a suicide completion, because I left the body, so I don't
right,
want to say an attempt.
right. Succeeded.
Yeah, right. And so, yeah, I just like I always would tell people, I was like, if Jesus gave me that choice, because that's the extended master I met. I didn't meet the other mine was strategic. The reason why I met Jesus was strategic. I could have met the others, but it was my experience. My NDE was so personal. It was so healing and edifying for me, even till this day, and still get edified. Um,
I think it's because it's what you needed. I really
yes,
believe when
exactly.
you hear different near-death experiences from experiencers, I feel like God shows us what we can understand.
Hmm.
So however we believe, I feel
Hmm.
like is how we're shown. And
Hmm.
that's why some stories are similar, some are different. Some see
Yeah,
rabbis, some see Christ, some see God. I
yeah.
feel like it's because of our beliefs going in. I mean, not that there's
Mhm.
atheist stories where they saw God,
Yeah, I
right?
was atheist, but I was taught that Jesus hated me. So that's why
Oh,
I'm agreeing with you. Like I'm like, yeah, like it was, yeah,
mm,
it was so on purpose. So
yeah.
beautiful. It was beautiful.
I don't think there's accidents. I feel like,
Right.
we can create what we want in our lives, but the outcome sometimes isn't always up to us.
Right.
And
Right.
we have to just surrender and know that it's going to be okay and it's working out for the highest good.
Yes. And that's the second question I wanted to ask you. So it's about the SHIFT acronym. Um, Holly, how do you surrender? Is it a process? Does it look like picking things up and putting it down, picking them up and finally
Mhm.
putting it down, picking it up again and putting it down
Yeah.
a little bit longer? Like, what does that look like? And how did that look like for you? Because surrender is not easy.
No, well, especially if you're a controlling and want to have everything your way, I
Yes,
mean, not that I'm
that
super
was
controlling.
me.
I'm flexible, but we all
That
we
was
want,
me. Super controlling. It was hard.
oh yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'm just really that controlling. I'm willing to look at opposition, all
Oh,
things. But
that's good.
for me,
That's
it was
beautiful.
letting go what I couldn't control,
Mhm.
because there was, like, in my 2 years of hell, I'll just use for an example, and
Mhm.
I won't go too deep into it, but it was some family issues.
Mhm.
I mean, it was like I was repelling everybody. So
Yeah.
minus my husband was great. He was the best supporter I had. A couple friends, a couple siblings, but I had nine, there's 9 kids in my family. So a couple
Mhm.
siblings wasn't very many.
Right.
And that felt like had my back.
Mhm.
And we were going through a really difficult challenge with a grandchild, and we were dealing with DCFS, and I was literally fighting DCFS for a grandchild to a family member that was um, a
Mhm.
sibling of mine. So not even
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
relative that close, right?
Right.
And it was like I'd already had custody of this kid a couple times, and so there was every emotion you can think of. Of course, so much anger,
Mhm.
so much like how could someone related to me do this, and how can the system be so corrupt? And there was
Mhm.
every kind of emotion and feeling going
Mhm.
on. And I literally did everything I could to where the surrender came when I could not do anymore. There was not one more thing to do.
Right.
I had hired attorneys. Oh, I had cried every day for those 2 years.
Mhm.
I mean, I talk about the system. I mean, I just every emotion, I
Yeah.
was going through, and people just didn't understand it. Even the people that were supporting me, I just don't really think they understood really how bad it was.
Right.
It
Right.
was bad. And I finally had to just say, okay, yeah, there's not absolutely anything I can
Mhm.
do
Mhm.
that I need to have a relationship with this person enough that I can actually see my grandson. Like it got to that point where somebody that you totally despise and do not want anything ever again to do with, that's related to you, doing that to you, it was for me.
Mhm.
It was not for me because
Gotcha.
I still think it was a wrong decision. And my husband and talked. So it was that for us, just like that
Mhm.
total, okay, I give up. I mean, it was just literally like
Mhm.
that was my surrender. And it's like I developed it because of having to just say,
Mhm.
okay, this is it. And the growth often comes, or it begins, and it doesn't call it begins when we stop fighting the reality and we start trusting the process and
Mhm.
just understanding there's a higher power here that I don't have control over this situation, and I
Mhm.
just need to let it go. And I mean, for me, that was an extreme situation. I had never, I
Mhm.
mean, to feel those emotions so heavy and to feel that heaviness every day. Um,
Mhm.
if somebody said, "Oh, you need to be here because you need to fight for this child, and you need to finish raising him," and blah blah blah. Oh
Mhm.
yeah, to my death. I
Mhm.
mean, literally, I would do
Yeah.
that. I would defend a child all the way.
Yes.
Knowing now what I know that I had to be shown the ick
Mhm.
because I was given this life Bible, I feel,
Mhm.
that was handed to me with the ending already written.
Mhm.
And I just have to go and fill in the in between pages, but I already know what's going to happen in the end
Yeah.
if I do my purpose.
Yeah.
And so it was like, okay, surrender for that. And if I have to sacrifice, a couple of my grandchildren, which I would never choose to do, and I never want to go through that again,
Mhm.
to save how many other hundreds and thousands, maybe grandchildren's.
Yes.
And so it was like,
Right. Right.
oh, I get to take the hit. Okay,
Mhm.
sucked. but for the future, I want to be a check writer. I don't want to
Mhm.
be in the ick. I feel like I had to go through that. I had to live through that.
Yeah.
And so I feel like this processes that I'm going through with this whole shift for me
Mhm.
is for the end game. It's for
Yeah.
all the people, all the good work we're going to do, and all of the philanthropy in the future that I'll be doing. And I had to see that and go through that. So that was
Yes.
my answer, but that was my answer.
No, no, that was a fabulous answer. I No, because I did ask you, and this is vulnerability time. There's no such thing as long answers. It's like we talk. Um, because I did ask, what did your process look like in surrendering? And I completely um agree. Um, my process as well, it had to come to me being at the end of the road. the end of
Yeah.
my road, whatever that road, folks road, some has longer roads than others, depending on the
Sure.
situation. So for me coming at the end of my road, and my road was long. I mean, would, I would try every single thing, just, because surrender is not. I was never taught that luxury, and I say it's a luxury because it really, really, really is. So I was not taught that luxury growing up. I feel like I didn't have that luxury to surrender growing up. I had to be in control. There
Mhm.
was too much abuse happening to where I had to start surviving. And
Yeah.
part of that, yeah, was like if I surrendered to higher powers, which in those cases were like parents and other family members, it meant something bad. So later on in life, I'm 28 now, but in my early 20s, I would say 23, 24 is when I finally learned to surrender, but it came at me being at the end of my road where I had no choice but to surrender. I mean,
Mm.
I didn't realize how uh, calculated I can be because I was trying everything. I was like, I was trying this and that, everything but surrender. I was like, wow, I was making up things, and I was like, wow, I could really put this into a business or something. This strategy would be great for a business, but I mean, I'm just being funny. Okay, it didn't hit. Holly's not laughing, everyone. It's okay. It was a terrible joke. But the point of the matter is the point of the matter is yes, it took me being at, I mean, a dark night, and my dark night was of the soul was like almost 2 years. I want to say it was 2 years, but I'm thinking it was like in between a year and a half and 2 years. But
Oh,
it took me being at the end of my road, and
yeah.
I gained so much though. Like I learned so much in that time, and now I see that yes, it was necessary. I truly see that I'm not y'all who's followed the show for a while. Y'all know I'm not the type of cliche person just to put a pretty bow on everything. No, like I need proof that, it actually worked out for the better. I needed proof, and I can say now it did work out for the
Yay.
better. Yes. Now, would I sign up to go back into that? No, no, not at all. Please, no.
Hey, if I go back, I better stay there because I'm not coming back.
Right, right. No, I mean go back to like the Dark Night of the Soul.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, that's why I feel like same thing. I feel like, no, I
Hmm.
was shown that, but I don't have to live in that ick. And that's
Yes.
where I know it sounds so snobby to think I'm going to be the check writer. Like, it's
No,
because
no, it doesn't.
the work I want to do, I want to leave to the professionals and leave it to the people that can handle that stuff. I already went through that. Been there, done that, don't want to do it again. And it's
Right.
like I want to allow
Mhm.
divine guidance and surrender is like when the miracle enters. Like when we do that, that's when everything just shifts.
It's a
Like
beautiful
literally
place to be.
when we let go. And I say to people, are you leaving that door open for the possibilities?
Mm.
That's part of the surrender. Is the possibility of what'll happen. It's the unknown, but you will
Mm.
never know if you don't surrender.
You know what? I got a download yesterday,
Mm,
and it was analogy, and I know it was a confirmation with me and the higher powers in the universe because you said it. It was about letting go, and it's like, let's say if a flower is growing, but you're holding it, and the more we try to hold on to something, the tighter our grip can get.
yeah,
How can that flower grow if we do not let go?
right.
And I know it's a confirmation from the universe because I tell the universe, I was like, I get these downloads, but to make sure that it's you and not necessarily me, or not my bias or my ego, you have to confirm it through someone.
Yeah.
I've had friends, special guests, strangers randomly come up to me. Oh, I'm not crying.
Mm.
Crying is healthy, everyone.
It is.
I just don't want to ugly cry on camera because this is the type of like my gratitude cries are ugly cries.
Well, at least you don't have
Um,
makeup on.
huh?
At least you don't have makeup on.
Right, right. Oh, but I've had like that occur. And so hearing Holly say that, how important it's really sticking with me. It really is sticking with me because letting go and surrendering has been something I knew for so long that I needed, but I just didn't know how to do. I felt like I had my moments at first when I first started to realize letting go and surrendering is my answer for these situations that were currently going on in my life at the time. And that how that's a skill and a beautiful place to be.
Yeah.
So I during that realization, I went through frustrations and anger towards God, Jesus, every entity that was a part of my near death experience. I was like, how dare you allow me to have a soul contract that steals that from my childhood, from the most fundamental phases in any human incarnate's life? Why would you why, I was mad at my higher self, I was mad at me, I was mad at everything, and I was like, like, I know the soul contract. I got to see a little bit of it. I didn't get to see all of it on purpose.
Yeah.
I got to see me planning things and me saying no at first.
Yeah.
I said no to come to Earth at first. But I yeah, I was like, it's so hard for me to do this now. I'm fighting. I'm literally fighting to learn to surrender. I'm literally fighting to let go. Literally, I'm not fighting to just hold on. I'm also fighting to let go. So it was a whole
Yeah.
complex storm going on. And I'm just really, really, really glad I learned.
Mm,
And so now I let go so much better. Like,
yeah.
I'm not perfect at it. Like, it does take me a little bit longer depending on the situation.
Sure.
But the fact that I can let go and I don't have to go through that battle like I did before anymore. But
Yeah.
yeah, so hearing you say those words let go, that was the confirmation that I was looking for. I was like, you say let go, universe, somehow, some
But you have
way.
to sing it. Let
Hmm?
it go. Let it
You
go.
have to sing it sometimes, folks. Yeah, Holly has a point. But yes, and so you mentioned surrender and transformation. Um, I do see you said they go hand in hand. I do see that. I'm putting two together, looking
Yeah,
back in
how do you have
hindsight.
transformation if you don't surrender? Like, right?
Exactly.
But you're skipping. We gotta talk about hope.
Yes, hope.
Because
Yes. Mm-hmm.
hope is remembering that light is there even when you can't
Mm-hmm.
see it. And when
Yes.
you're in that dark place, nothing looks light, right? Everything's heavy, everything's hard,
Yeah.
everything's a challenge. And hope is always there during darkness,
Yeah.
but spiritual resilience shows up when you very least expect it.
Yes.
Mhm.
In our quote unquote weakest, we are quote unquote strongest.
Mm,
Because if you're not if I'm not going through anything, I don't have any reason, there's no resistance, there's no like weight on the barbell, right? But when
yeah,
I'm going through something, it's heavy.
yep.
Yeah, that's
And
very
and
good
for
point.
me, so my STE, spiritual transformative experience,
Mhm.
was my mom coming to me. That was my last experience, but it was super powerful because
You mean for on the other side, right?
so
Or
I was in my hospital bed and my mom
okay,
had passed away and she came to me in
right.
spirit. She did a lot, but she had never talked to me until now.
Yeah.
And she said, "It's not your time to go and you need to fight." And this was like a big turning. This was the hope for me because my prayers were changing. I was in there for a long time. I was getting over it. I was like, I was never afraid to die. Definitely, I'm not now.
Right.
But I was like, okay, God, if you're not going to get me better, then get me out of here. Like,
Right.
I was just like, we're going one way or another. This in
I've said
between
those words.
is horrible.
Hmm.
So that's when my mom came to me and she said, "It's not your time and you need to fight." But when she said fight, all above my bed came all my deceased ancestors in white. So I knew and I recognized, but they were at their best. So my grandparents like were younger than me.
Yeah.
And my brother had passed away, my sister-in-law in a bad car wreck separately. My
Mm,
grandbaby just had died 5 months before, 2 days old, but she was an adult, but I knew it was her. So like they're all coming and they're
yes,
chanting,
exactly.
fight, fight, fight.
Yes.
And every time fight would be said, now a whole group of people in street clothes, which I knew were living people because it was
Mhm.
my husband and siblings and kids
Yeah.
and like I said, every time fight, fight more and more till there was like thousands of people there. And that for me was the hope because it was a defining moment when I knew I was going to live. It was like,
Mhm.
I have all these people, and not a lot of them I didn't even know here telling me to fight. I have all these people that have my back, which was a big deal for me. People have my back.
Yeah.
And it just like every good thing was just like, here they are. You have this loving support.
Right.
And it was like, got it. Now I look back later and I realize those people that I didn't know, they were the thousands, or not the thousands, they were the thousands of people though that were on prayer lists from all my
Mhm.
friends and family all over the world. People that was, I saw
Mhm.
everyone praying for me,
Yeah.
thousands of people. And I'm thinking, who am I not to live? If this is what
Yeah.
I'm, if it's not my time, okay, we're going to get better. It's going to be a long road back. But it was like, that
Yeah.
was hope for me. And I know
Mhm.
that was a big hope. That was a big drastic thing to have happen. But I was in a drastic situation,
Yes. Right. Right.
And it just said, it was just like God telling me, your story is not over. You have purpose. Cause I never felt like I had purpose before that.
Oh, right? Same. Yes. Oh, Holly, beautiful. And what that's really beautiful. So is one, folks, the amount of people rooting for us on the other side is so it's so many.
Oh yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
many. Like it's so many. And I'm glad that you got to visually see that because it's always happening. But to visually see it is that's so beautiful. Um, seeing the living people as well, I
Mm-hmm.
th- could that be because for my NDE near death experience, I learned that our soul can break off into fragments.
Mm,
So we can live multiple places at once. So that's why when a lot of people they can see their living loved one as well
yeah.
because their soul it's break off into fragments and what happens is after all those fragments transition back into the soul that's on the other side, we're coming with all these experiences because our spirit can crave growth and evolution and learning. So I
Yeah.
wonder if that's that. But that is just so, so, so beautiful. Um,
Yeah. It was cool. I mean, who am I not to fight after that, right?
right, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Got it. Okay, message received.
Yeah, right. Oh,
I actually have
wow.
a painting. I had it painted. So I'm laying in my bed and the people are behind me instead of in front of me because of
Yeah.
the painting.
Right, the painting,
It
right.
only fit 26 heads to be, well, bodies to be in it.
Mhm.
It took me 8 months to have it done. I had to move everybody around and
Yeah.
fit
Put in
everybody.
that thing just right.
6 foot by 4 foot. It's
Can
like a whole wall. It's huge.
Where is
Um,
that? Do you have it with you right now? I mean, I know we're video, but after can
oh
you
yeah, just remind me
send a
and I'll pull up a
picture?
picture of it.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I'll pull up a picture of it. I can
Okay.
show you. Yeah,
Okay.
sure. But it was challenging because, I have such a big family. So 26 people when there were thousands. I mean, there were hundreds in there that I recognized,
Yeah.
thousands I didn't recognize. But the point is, it was like that only means something to
Mm,
me. That picture doesn't really mean anything to anyone else. I
right,
put
but
it
it
in
means
my
something.
healing room,
Oh,
because I had a lot of lung issues after, and I had a hyperbaric I got in every morning. So it went in my room where I went to heal, and
yeah.
I called it the COVID house because we bought a house. When I went in the hospital, we had one under contract, and we lost it because
Hmm.
they didn't know if I could sign, so we had to let it go back.
Right, right.
So we bought one a couple of months after I got out of the hospital. And so we had it for 2 years, but I call it the COVID house because
Hmm.
it was my healing house. It was where I went to get
Yeah.
better.
You know what? I'm nerding out over here. So I have to ask.
Okay.
So do you think that those other individuals that you didn't humanly recognize were individuals of past lives or past lives on other planets? Did they all look human?
Yeah, they did, and they were all in street clothes. So I knew that I knew they were
Okay.
living people because the people that had died were all in white. So
Right.
I knew that
Oh, so there was
that's
okay.
why I think they were the people on the prayer list that I was on.
Right.
I think
Right.
if a congregation times 50
Mm.
people are putting me on bliss, that's a lot of
Right.
people, right? So
Right.
that was my interpretation as I
Right.
didn't think about it till later, but later that's when I went, oh, that's who those people were. And I feel
Yeah.
like that's right for me. So that's an interesting question, but being in street clothes because that was the
Right. You knew that.
separation for
Hmm.
me. Yeah.
That's because that's what I always want to know when people see others. I need to know. I was like, okay, was that past life or was that on another planet? Because I saw something from another planet.
Wow. I
That
don't think
being that
so.
entity, right? And that was very, very, very personal as well. And
Yeah.
I can't convey how personal that was to me, especially in that time in my life.
Yeah.
And I can feel something's about to be because that's the entity that told me about, my soul contract. Told me
Oh,
about how we can live other places. There's many places to choose from, and that didn't become edifying to me. Those words didn't become edifying to me until 2 years, whenever 2024 was, which was my dark night of the soul, and where I tried to leave one more time. I attempted to leave one more time. Yeah. And
well,
this is the thing, Holly, they would not let me leave. And I knew it. I was after I think I took like 38 pills. I was
wow.
on FaceTime with someone and I said, "Watch, I go into this hospital and they're gonna say there's almost nothing wrong with me." That's exactly what they said. I was like, I told the person on the FaceTime, and I made a believer out of them. They was like, they believed my NDEs. I was like, I told you they're not going to let me live. I know when I get to leave. Well, I know when I get a choice to leave between
Yeah.
30 and 33. I do know that.
Oh,
But
wow. Which is interesting, isn't that how old Jesus was when he died? Was
yeah,
33.
he's about 33, wasn't he?
My husband
Yes.
always says the end of the world, if it happens, it's going to be in 2033. I'm like, dang, that's
Mm.
close. We'll be alive
But
for a minute.
but yes, so that so that was edifying to me, something that was revealed to me 8 years later, which
Yeah.
was in 2024. And that helped center me. It helped put a fight in me, right? To keep
Mm-hmm.
going after I got out the hospital. And it's just so funny how like that all happened like right after. Like
Yeah.
that revelation, and because I always wondered, I was like, why did they tell me that?
Yeah.
And so I stopped asking the question, and then like 4 years later, here we go. You
Well,
know,
it goes to, my next letter is into intuition,
hmm
and it sounds like you're having and you're listening to a lot of that. But I think it's intuition everybody has, whether they believe that or not.
right.
It's really your inner guidance.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. And
Hmm.
I'm sure yours is amplified since your experience.
Very,
But
definitely.
what if the answers that you seek are already trying to reach you, but
Mm.
you're not listening and you're not being present?
I'm just gonna pause right there.
Mm.
Give us pause for like 5 seconds. Hmm. Yeah. I know that was for someone.
Mhm.
I felt that. Woo, I'm speechless.
Well, our souls speak. It's just we're not we're not in the space that we are being present enough
Hmm.
to hear it. It's being
Right.
said loud and clear, but are
Yeah.
we in the space that we can hear?
Yes. Wow.
Mm.
Now, F and T of the shift, Holly. I want to get those two letters in before we head out. So F and T, but folks, wait, that was like so powerful right there, right? Like I don't know why did I feel that? Maybe I might need it later on.
You're awesome. That's why.
I received that. Um, so F and T, faith and transformation. So in the shift acronym, tell
Yeah.
us about this.
Well, okay, for me, faith became different. It was
Mm-hmm.
way different after my NDE. It was no longer just a belief, it became an
Mm-hmm.
experience. Like I lived it. And
Right.
so I returned with a mission. Again, no choice. I was sent back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
given things to do, but continuing life despite uncertainty and hardships, I learned that faith is sometimes simply taking the next breath. For me, that's what it was, because that's what I lost was my breath.
Mm-hmm.
And the next breath after that. And then that's when you fully can understand the path. And it's just like I said, it goes back to part of that surrender. But faith is where we trust the unseen.
Mm-hmm.
We walk forward before uncertainty, or
Mm-hmm.
before certainty, not uncertainty. Um, we believe that there's purpose in pain.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's faith after awakening. That's just different. It's
Yes.
that knowing.
Yes. And you know, speaking of something else, and every person that's had an NDE that I talked to has said very same slash similar things as what I'm about to say. So, um, and I wanted to know what your thoughts on this before we go into transformation.
Mhm.
Since you mentioned something not being the same after NDE. So, when someone transitions, of course, there's grief, duh. However, I tend to get over it much quicker,
Yeah.
go through it very differently. I only grieve because I know that it's symbolic of love and I know that the nervous system has to.
Hmm.
But I I don't grieve very long. I mean seriously, like I see it so differently now. I see and I know humans used to not way back then when someone transitioned, they didn't used to grieve, they used to celebrate.
Yeah. Well, my experience was grieving people in grandchildren, specifically two boys that hadn't died. And grieving people that are living is so much harder. I've
Yes.
both. And when you know somebody's tangible and you can touch them, but you can't, and you can't see them and you can't talk to them. I have even a child that has kind of done that, no contact. I mean, not now, it's better now. It was kind of happening during the same time. So I was just
Mhm.
getting it at all ends.
Right.
And,
Oh,
and so
definitely a dark night.
parents are suffering right now from kids going no contact. It's like this fad. It's like that's the cool thing to do. Don't talk to your parents anymore. And it's like we can't change the past. I mean, I was the best mother I could have been with the knowledge I had. My kids weren't neglected, maybe emotionally, but they always had food and clothing, and I was always there. I didn't just desert them. So it's like I don't want to get on the defensive side. I just want to say, hey, I'm sorry that happened. And I hope that you can have a better relationship with me in the future, but I can't change the past. And I did the best I could with what I knew. And it's funny, once you get to be a parent, you understand it a little bit more. Like she's raised a teenager now, and I'm thinking, how that look for you? you know? And it's just, you never they always say, I'm not gonna be like my parents, I'm not gonna do what my parents did. And what we do? We do what our parents did. I mean, it's what we know, it's what we learned. And not saying everybody, that's not a blanket statement, but I'm just saying it's that grief is tough. It's
Mm-hmm.
tough. I,
Yeah, that's been when I do grieve, it's because I'm grieving a living person. But
mm,
when someone transitions, I'm more literally am so happy for them
you've
than
seen where they go.
yes, because I seen where they go, and I'm just like, if anybody should be crying, it should be them that we're still here. Okay, let me be
Yeah,
quiet.
like I'm the one that should be upset. I'm jealous now.
Right, right. Okay, I'm glad you said that because that's exactly what I do say. That's literally what I say, and I don't say it in front of someone grieving because I don't. No, that's not a. I don't want
Yeah.
to say. But when I'm sitting with myself and just thinking, I'm like I literally have seen and experienced and felt, and I'm just like, Oh my gosh, especially with everything going on Earth right now, and I'm just like, listen, I think that I'm just like, I someone the other day, I was in my head like, they are living their best life right now. And if they want to
Yeah.
reincarnate, they can. If they want to go somewhere else, they can. But I was like, they are living their best life right now. They they don't ever have to feel heartbreak
Yeah.
like they were feeling on this
Well,
earth.
and can I say something that I learned that was a life changer for me?
Mm,
After, so I did a hypnosis session after that kind of ended the 2 years of hell for me. I really felt strongly that there were some things missing in my story and out
this
of
was the
integrity.
hypnosis on the story, right? Oh yeah, you just said that. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
NDE. And so I
Mhm,
had my mentor. I'm certified for hypnosis, so I'm very familiar with the process. I specifically had the intention that it was on the near death experience. That's all I wanted to work on.
mhm,
And I was given, that's where I was told more will be revealed to you when the time is right. I revisited my life review in that. And when I saw it the first time, I only saw good. And I was always like, you're in such a positive place. There isn't a negative thought there.
mhm,
So I would have never thought to ask, where's all my bad stuff? Why would I
mhm,
bring that up in heaven? Right. So after 2 years, I had a lot of time to think about that. And I'm like, I've done plenty of bad things. Like, where's the bad stuff? So when I revisited this in this his hypnosis session, I didn't see God, but I heard God plain as day.
mhm,
And he said, I'm showing you the good because that's what matters.
mhm,
Okay, that's cool. Then he gave me these words, and I'll tell you what, I wouldn't have had those 2 years of hell if I would have known this the first time, because it would have changed my whole thinking around what my reactions were and how I handled everything.
mhm,
And it was this: love them where they're at. And if you think about if that's all we do every day is love them where they're at, it will take that judgment away. You can't change who and what someone is.
mhm,
We've heard it before, like you should love someone unconditionally, but to love them where they're at, that's who they are. That's what they know. That's who they be. And it would have been a game changer. But guess what? I wouldn't have had all that experience that I have to have for the future and those lessons so I can be the check writer. I wouldn't have went through all that. I needed to see that. I needed to be in the ick.
mm,
And so like then the gratitude comes and it's like every day there's so much more gratitude. And I'll give you another reason. I remember my sister telling me, I just wish you could feel some peace when I was going through this was
mm,
one of my siblings that had my back.
mhm,
And I thought about it and I thought, peace, I don't think I have ever, like, I've experienced peace, but like really felt true peace my whole life. And I would say it's only been about a year to a year and a half, and I'm in my late 50s, that I get it now. I know what peace feels like. I have a sign right here above in my
mm,
office, right up there, that I can look at any time of the day that says peace.
mm,
It's my reminder because now I know that emotion. Now I know what that feels like. I didn't know that before. Like, we don't know what we don't know.
right.
Oh, when they say pray for peace, yeah, literally. I prayed for
Mhm,
peace. I got it. And
yeah,
to never have felt that like
mm,
in something years, that's a long time to not feel peace.
right. Oh, that is
I
so
mean, moments of
beautiful.
peace I felt. Don't get me
Right, right. The fact that it was experienced, that's what is huge.
wrong,
Oh, that's
night
so
and day.
beautiful.
So I was so grateful for that
Mhm,
experience of that.
it's
People
amazing.
are afraid of hypnosis. People, I wasn't because I'm trained in it. So I
Mhm,
knew I could wake up at any time. I
mhm,
asked for that experience.
yeah.
But yeah, it was just so healing for me.
Yeah. I'm gonna do one at the end of June. I'm going to do one. I want one on any on whatever home planet is, and to me, home planet basically or home world is the place that I've been incarnated on the most and the place that I've been loved on the most.
Mm,
That's what I consider home. Because after seeing that being, I know, and after I've seeing the NDE and my NDE, that being told me that I volunteered to come here, and I was like, so that makes sense why I said no at first. I was
sure.
like, can you blame
Yeah,
me? No, I'm just
just
kidding.
kidding. I don't really want to go through that, but I guess I
Right.
will.
I wonder why I didn't get to see what made me say yes. I mean, I feel like I know now, but I didn't. I want to be able to see that, so I might have to do an indie. Because maybe I was shown that, but I forgot.
Yeah, I think that there is always more will be revealed to you when the time is right.
Yes, when the time is right.
Everyone
And
in
this is year 10. this is year 10, and the fact that I even, because I had never had this craving, this pull to do a past life hypnosis or to
Mm,
do a hypnosis on an NDE.
yeah.
I was just gonna do it on past lives. You are the one, because of our meeting the other day.
Mm,
You are the one. Now I'm gonna do it on the
mm,
NDE,
yeah, do
and
it. I love it. And you better like get a hold of me after and say,
oh yeah,
want to hear the
100%.
story? Of course I do. I love that.
Yes, we could. Holly, I'm speechless. I want to thank you for coming on here. I'm going to end it 5 minutes early just because I want to see that painting, and I also want to show you something from my NDE, as well. Um, so I'm going to end this 5 minutes early, so we have 2 minutes left. So, season 10 will have 10 episodes, 10 10. Season 11 will have 11 episodes, 11 11. Season 10 premieres June 12th, so in a couple days. Season 12 will have 12 episodes, 1 2 1 2. All these numbers I've been seeing consistently for the past
So
few
cool.
months. You do you want to be season 11's premiere or season 11's finale on 11/11? 'Cause
Ooh.
that's your word. I was gonna do the premiere because I was like, no, this was
Yeah. Well,
powerful.
1111 is my number. So
Okay.
when I did my marketing, because I was told not to partner with this one company in my near death experience. So when I did the marketing, I told them it had to have a tree in it. And I didn't realize that that tree was in my near death experience until the hypnosis session. But when I got the
Mm.
tree back, or when I got it back, the logo, it had 11 leaves and 11 roots on it. And I was, so then when I saw it in the hypnosis session, I saw this tree. It wasn't the same tree, obviously, but I saw this symbol of a tree. It was like God telling me, well done. You literally did what I
Mm.
asked you to do without question. And now I'm showing you that tree was part of this and you didn't even remember. It was like
Mm.
that, or will be revealed to you, you know. And the second thing I saw was pink hearts in some matter in that.
Mhm.
And in my nonprofit that I was told to start and given the name to in my near death, in the fundraiser we did, every little gift bag I gave everyone, I knew it had to have a pink colored quart heart in it. Every
Oh,
bag got that.
as it
And then
should.
when I saw that in the hypnosis, I was like, because I never questioned it, I just did it, you know. And I was
Wow.
like, oh my gosh. I mean, you just get, I feel like those are God gifts. They're just like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know you're on the right track. You're
Yes.
listening, you're
Oh.
oh,
That
cool.
was just beautiful. I am just full in a good way. Thank you, Holly.
You're welcome.
Seriously. So Holly will be on season 11, the 11th episode, which is this season finale. So that'll be next month. Because
Okay.
season 10 is all June. Season 11 is coming out all July, and season 12 all August. So,
Nice.
and I would love to. I'm thinking about doing it. I already said I'm going to do the All-Star season. I said thinking about it because like now I'm just like, what? When do I want to do that? But I'm thinking September. Um, but I'll let you know. But I would love to have you on that season.
Love
That would be the second All-Star season that I've done. Just because I'm in PhD program is it's a lot of work, and so me opening my calendar up in September is I'm closing it in November
it.
because that's when finals time.
Yeah, don't overwhelm yourself. That won't be good.
Exactly. So I'm gonna play it by ear, but just know that there will be an All-Star season. I will be reaching out to you. I think I have your email, right? Let me. Can you get your painting? I'm gonna get something as well. Oh, let me end the video.
Yeah, I was gonna show you the logo first.
Oh, wonderful! Look at
11
that.
leaves and 11 roots.
Beautiful. Look at that.
And let me find my painting here. There you go. There it is. I find the right one because I have several versions of it till I got it right.
While you find that, I'm gonna go get the my thingy.
Oh, okay.
All right. All right. All right. All right. Folks, if I'm gonna end up posting this on YouTube so folks can see because I still have it recording. So folks, also go on YouTube. The link is in the episode description below, and you will see Holly's video. Okay. So, okay, let's see this painting, Holly.
Okay.
Oh my god.
This way I can get it in there.
Oh my gosh. Oh, look at everybody.
So see, I'm in my bed in the bottom. See my little grandbaby above my head?
Yeah.
I mean, she was an adult, but I painted her as a baby because that's how I knew her.
Right. Right. So beautiful.
Anyway, yeah,
But you
it
said
was
everybody looked like young though, but you painted them as like,
no, they actually I painted them like my grandparents because the pictures I had of them were like
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
they were probably about my age. I mean, but you know, when you die in your 80s and 90s,
Mhm.
they
Right,
were
right.
way young in these.
Yes.
So yeah. Anyway,
So beautiful. So this is here's a towel.
okay.
Um, so I died in front of this, left my body in front of this. Right? And this is the only thing that I had from my room when I used to live in Texas.
Okay.
Everything about the room changed. The mattress, the covers, the blinds, the closet doors, the dresser, the windows, everything. This is so over the years, this is all I had. And I just always held on to it. And I was like, when Jesus hugged me that last time,
Oh,
when it was hugging me back in my body. So I've always kept this. So
yeah.
everywhere I live, I take it with me. I've never even washed it. It's been
Oh,
like 10 years. And it's not dirty, folks. Like I either put it in a closet or I leave it in a suitcase. Um, but there's no like sweat or nothing on it. Trust me, I make sure to only touch this clean. I never even watched it. I don't want anything to change about this. I'm keeping this, and this is going wherever. I've had this for 10 years, and I mean, this reminds me of that because I know like as a human, I feel love, but I don't feel it as intentionally as I did when Jesus hugged me. So
well,
this sometimes I just go back and I hug this.
yeah, I love that. Oh, I'm glad you kept
Yeah,
it.
I'm glad
Yeah,
I
I
did
think that's
too.
amazing. Don't ever lose it.
I know. One time I thought I did. I lost my mind. But
Oh,
no, I found it like 20 minutes later. It's fine. It was it was it was in the suitcase. I just packed it at the bottom instead of at the top like I usually do.
yeah.
So, yeah, so I had freaked out for no reason, but it's okay. That's something that I used to do back then. Just freak
Well,
out over.
it reminds me to put it around your shoulders like the hug.
Yeah, sometimes I do that too.
Yeah.
Isn't that beautiful? I love it. So,
Well, it's so
wanted to
lovely.
show you
Thanks for
that.
sharing.
Thank you for sharing. Oh, how beautiful. Folks, okay. So, Holly, what I will do is I will shoot you a message whenever this is about to be released, but this will be released at the end of July since it's the season finale. But you
Okay.
will have an exact date,
Okay.
probably on July 1st, July 2nd. I'll shoot you a message. And
Awesome.
send me any links.
Okay. I just have one. I'll send you because it goes to everything.
Does it also your email as well?
Email,
Because
everything on there.
okay, great, great,
Well,
great.
if I email you, you'll have my email anyway.
Yes, email me. And that way I can also share with you the video whenever I upload it to Google Drive.
Okay. Uh, your Gmail.
Bye, folks.